Hey, let me ask you. So, Bob, at one point, how did this work? When the first shepherd's rod that you wrote, did God speak to you about that first, and then Bob kind of
No, it's the
confirmed and gave you
other way
permission?
around.
Okay.
The other way around. Bob Jones had recorded the Shepherd's Rod decades before I did.
Yeah.
He'd done them at that time. I think he's the only individual I know on earth that was doing the Shepherd's Rod on the Day of Atonement. And so I knew that he did them. And Bob comes to me. I walked up to me and he goes, "Yeah, God wants you to do the Shepherd's Rod." And I said, "No, Bob, I'm not going to do it," just like that. But I was going to explain to him why I didn't want to do it. And I was going to explain to him, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to polyparrot or copy
Sure.
of what somebody else is doing.
Sure.
And so I said, "No, Bob, I'm not going to do it." And before I could give him the explanation on why, he rubbed his hands like that and he goes, "Well, he wants you to," and turned around and walked off in a huff. Just walked off like that.
Right.
And I'm standing there and I'm beating myself up thinking, oh, Lord, I didn't get to handle that right. I didn't get to explain to him why I didn't want to do the shepherd's rod. Jesus Christ appears right about like where you are. He said, "I want you to record the shepherd's rod." I said, "No, Lord, because I don't get revelation like that." That's what I said.
Wow.
"No, Lord,
Wow.
because I don't get revelation like that." When I said I don't get revelation like this, he takes me like that and carries me up into the universe, into the heavens, into a dome, a big round sphere. And in that sphere, there's screens, like big film screens.
Wow.
Thousands
Wow.
of them all around me, beside me, beneath me, under. And every one of the screens were playing something different, a
Wow.
different sequel. But when I'd focus on the scene, I'd know everything. The most minute detail, I'd know everything about it. I'm thrown back down to earth, Jesus standing there, and he almost laughed at me and said, "See, no problem for me to give you revelation." And so I started doing the shepherd's rod then, and this coming Day of Atonement will be my 25th one.
That's incredible. Now, when you had that encounter, was that just before the day? Was that on the Day of Atonement?
No,
just
this
before?
was that's just before the Day of Atonement. Yeah, and
Did you use the information that you saw on those screens? Was that part of
no,
the
that,
first?
that was just showing me that he
That was an
could give me
example.
revelation. And then here's what Bob Jones and I did. And for those 24 years, we made a covenant. We'd never discussed the shepherd's rod together until they were both in print. To cover ourselves so nobody could say, Bobby copied Bob or Bob copied Bobby. And it's stunning. It is breathtaking to take those shepherd's rods and put them side by side. It's the same thing, just said in different ways. And so that's what the Bible said, "In the mouth of two or three witnesses, let everything be established."